Hi everyone, welcome to Markz900. I'm Mark. Now, there aren't that many things in life that get me excited. Getting married to my beautiful wife, buying a Z900, and having kids, maybe 3 of them. But I'm excited at the moment because tomorrow we go off on a road trip. So me and 5 of my mates are leaving Gloucester. We're going to go around the top end of Wales and end up in Hell's Mouth. I can't wait. Now, the bike's all prepped, by which I mean I've oiled the chain, checked the tyre pressures, and put fuel in it. Now, that was a challenge because there's panic buying at the petrol stations at the moment. But nevertheless, we're all ready to go. So I've got 2 questions to answer. One is, what do I put all my luggage in? I know it's only an overnighter, but there's still a fair bit of luggage to take. And the second thing is, what route are we going to take? So let's go and talk about that now. Okay, so this is only an overnighter, so let's have a quick look at what we need. Right, obviously, spare pants and socks. I'll need a pair of jeans for the evening time. I'm going to need a shirt, and I'm going to need a nice warm top because I haven't got room to take a jacket, so that's the only warmth I'm going to really have. And then for the route home, I'm going to need a long sleeve t-shirt. So that's the sort of stuff I need to pack. The thing that takes up a lot of space is my trainers, so they've got to go with me as well, obviously. I don't want to walk around in motorbike boots all night. And then there's a few other bits and bobs like toothbrushes and so on. Now, the usual choice, do I stick it in a rucksack or do I put it into a travel system? Well, the rucksack I use every day for work. It doesn't bother me carrying a rucksack. I usually put a laptop and all sorts in there, so it's quite heavy. But for a long journey like this, I don't really want to be using that. So I've dragged this one out of the garage. I've used it a couple of times before. It's an Oxford travel system called a T30R, and it is absolutely brilliant. So it's got 2 sort of modes. You can have it in a collapsed mode, or you can have it opened up like this. Now, in the collapsed mode, you can't really get an awful lot in, to be honest, especially if you've got to put a pair of shoes in. So I've opened it out. Now all I've got to do, fit that lot into there and then get that attached to the bike. Now, the really clever thing about this is that once it's on the bike and you arrive at your destination, all you do is unzip the luggage from the base, just like that. And then you can walk away with your luggage, leaving that on the bike. Now, that's a fabulous system. It's really convenient, really easy. So that's what I'm going to go with. The downside is that it is quite a big lump on the back of your bike, makes it quite difficult to get on and off. And it doesn't look great, and it's the wrong colour, but hey. So there we go then. Just got to get all this packed in. I've got a few other bits and pieces as well, like my charging cable. And the one thing, unfortunately, that I can't take with me is this little fella. But I'm sharing a small room with my mate Sid, and he said to me, don't worry, Mark, you won't need your teddy bear. So not really sure what to make of that. But anyway, let's get this lot packed up and on the bike. Here's the bike all ready to go. It looks a little bit cramped, but once you're in there, trust me, it's absolutely fine. But what about that route? Let's have a look at this route then. So we're going to start down in Gloucester and we're working our way to Tewkesbury, where we're going to pick up the final member of our gang, and from Tewkesbury up to Dom's bike stop just north of Hereford in Leominster. So we've been to Dom's bike stop before, excellent cakes and tea, so we'll stop there for a while and then off up this long drag up here, up the Horseshoe Pass, and end in the Ponderosa Cafe. Now, we've been past there a couple of times and each time it's been shut because it's been locked down, but this time it should be open, so we're going to have lunch in the Ponderosa. And then we're going to hang a kind of left and go around the northern part of Snowdonia, and we should see Mount Snowdon along that road until we hit Llanberis, and then once again we'll take another left, follow this northern coastal road, and then down here our guest house, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. Now, this is in a place called Aberdaron and is in this whole area known as Hell's Mouth. So we're going to set off at 9:30 in the morning. It should take us, according to this, 5 hours 40 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how long that does actually take, because of course we're going to be stopping for tea, cake, lunch, and endless sort of comfort breaks and whatever else, petrol. So let's see how long that takes in reality. Okay, I've arrived at my mate's house, and here's the gang. We've got a Harley Davidson, an XD Avil, an MT-09 and an Africa Twin, and we're going to head off up the road out of Gloucester, and we're heading towards Tewkesbury now. So I'm not going to film loads and loads of footage, just a few clips. So that's to say, this is going off towards Tewkesbury to pick up the last member of our gang, and there she is at the back there. And we're now heading to Dom's bike stop, which is in Leominster, just outside of Hereford. We've been there loads of times before because it's only about an hour from our house. So here we go into the front entrance, and then we go up through the driveway, which is a bit gritty and rough, but it's really not too bad. There's loads of bike parking, and there's always loads of bikes there. And once you're in, top quality teas, coffees, cakes and biscuits and all that sort of stuff. So really good place to visit. Now here we are arriving into the bike parking area. Just work our way through. Always get a bit nervous about these things because you don't want to make a fool of yourself, do you? And stall the bike or drop the bike or do something stupid, and there's always loads of people around on their bikes. So here we go, carefully in. Then we're going to park up, and once we parked up, loads of eating, bit of chat, and then off we go up to the Horseshoe Pass. Now the Horseshoe Pass will take us all the way into the Ponderosa. But let's just park these bikes up and go and get some tea first. So here we are on the Horseshoe Pass then. Here comes the first of the bikes. There's the MT-09, which is followed by a Harley, followed by an XDiavel. Then we've got two Hondas, the CB followed by the Africa Twin. So I've got to go and catch up with those guys now. And this is just more or less at the top of the Horseshoe Pass. You can see we had our first drop of rain there. That was a bit of a pain, but it was actually the only rain we got. So we get past these cars, busier on the roads than we've had recently. So obviously we've been riding through the end of lockdown, which was great. But there we go, arriving at the Ponderosa. Now if you've never been, I highly recommend this place if you just want somewhere to stop and grab some food, because the sort of way they serve the food is like on a hot plate. So they just kind of dish out whatever you want, you pay for it, and Bob's your uncle, you're sitting down eating. There's none of this sort of table service and waiting for people to come along and then asking for the bill and all that. So you just get in there, eat, and away. So we pulled up at the car park, made a whole load of new friends, lots of bikers there to talk to, and then away from the Ponderosa and carry on our journey. So this is through one of the little villages just up there in North Wales. So we're going to go through there, sticking to the speed limits, being nice to the locals, all that sort of stuff. You can see how picturesque it is. The roads are fantastic, and that's the one thing, the outstanding thing about Wales, right? If the weather's not great, you can guarantee these roads are just absolutely brilliant. So here we go, going past the guys now, just doing a bit of filming. Now, of course, we've got intercom system, so we're all talking to each other at this point. So I'm telling them, look guys, slow down, I'm about to come past you on the bike. So it's not like we're going speeding through or anything like that. There we are, just catching up with the Hondas now, who have made their way to the front. And this really is a fantastic bit of road. We're going round the north part of Wales, and any minute we would see Snowdonia on our left. So there we go, past the luggage of the Africa Twin, just managed to squeeze past there. Right, we carry on, and before you know it, we are in Aberdaron. Got to get the names right. So this is a nice little village. There's not an awful lot there. There's a couple of shops. Off to the left there is a hotel and bar, and off to the right, that sort of blue grey coloured building, is the hotel that we stayed in, and just the other side of it is the beach. So the one thing that wasn't great was the parking, and we had a great night in that hotel. We watched the boxing, drank some beer, and that's a view of the beach from the rear window, and there's me stood on the beach, and also a picture of the hotel, and of course the obligatory breakfast shot. So once we'd had the night out, packed up the bike, there it is, already packed up. You can see that the luggage system I've got on the back has been condensed down, and there's the rest of them all ready to go. So off we went then. This is the sort of south coastal road out of that part of Hell's Mouth. We've got the sea off to the right hand side, so it was beautiful views, and off to the left is fantastic countryside. It's a lovely sweeping fast road. The problem we had though was that we got stuck behind a bus, so if you are going to take that route, make sure you check the bus timetables. That's all I can say about that one. And then on the way back we stopped off at HR4K, which is a fantastic cafe run by some ex-Special Forces guys in Hereford. We didn't stop for lunch because we didn't really need to after that enormous breakfast, so we just went into this place, had a great time. And then it was back on the road, back into Gloucester. And that was pretty much the end of our trip. So thanks for watching this far. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon.